Hello, Jessica. Have you had a nice day? I hope you enjoyed your Easter bee kit. Did you find the story about Barry the bee? You'll be off to bed soon, so I thought I might read you the story before you go. You can read it with me and look at the pictures. Are you ready? This is the story of Barry the greedy bee and his day of eating. Barry was a jolly bee who lived with Mum and Dad. But something always bothered him. It was the food he'd never had. Good morning, Mum. Good morning, Dad. It's another lovely day. Good morning, son, they both said back. Your nectar's on its way. Can you see his little house? We call that a beehive. And who do you think lives in the house next door to him? But that's all we eat for every meal, morning, noon and night. I know we're bees, but every meal. Come on, that can't be right. For once, let's have a burger, milkshake, pizza or some fries. But Dad just laughed and shook his head and served up nectar surprise. Enough is enough, today's the day, said Barry with a grin. I'm going to find some different food, so let the search begin. He flew up high above his home, so high the hive looked small. He saw the big tall city buildings and headed for them all. Can you see those tall buildings? We call those skyscrapers. And Barry the bee's flying right in amongst them to see what he can find to eat. As Barry flew close, the noise grew loud, cars honked with beeps and toots. And then he spied a market stall selling wonderfully colourful fruits. He buzzed down low and landed on a big, round, shiny plum. He tried a bit. Incredible! My day of eating has begun. He moved around from place to place, devouring everything in sight. He'd never seen such wonderful food. It was an eating and drinking delight. He ate some fries and drank milkshakes and even tried out soda. There was lemon and orange and blueberry burst. But his favourite flavour was cola. He had cheesy pizza and garlic bread with lashings of barbecue sauce. He finished the lot and sat back and said, should I eat some more? Well, of course. By the time that Barry had eaten his fill, the sun had gone right down and the city lights were switching on and there was no one left around. The thought of the big city, dark at night, was making him feel uneasy. The streets were almost empty too, and Barry was now feeling queasy. So Barry buzzed his little wings and jumped up towards the sky. But way down with all the food he'd had, his wings just wouldn't fly. I can't take off, he cried out loud in a rather trembling voice. I'm going to have to stay the night. I haven't got a choice. Then he heard a gurgling noise come rumbling from inside his tummy. His stomach ached and made strange sounds. He just wanted to be home with his mummy. I shouldn't have eaten all of that food. It really was a big mistake. So he curled up small and began to cry while his tummy continued to ache. Just when it seemed that all hope was lost and he'd never make it back, he heard the familiar sound of a buzzing noise coming out of the black. It was Mum and Dad and all of his friends. They'd come to take him back home. And from that day on, when he ate nectar surprise, you never heard Barry moan. And that's the end of that story. Good story. And now I should think it's time for you to go off to bed. You might be able to have another story from your little radio when you get upstairs. The time has come to say good night, to say sleep tight till the morning light. The time has come to say good night, it's the end of a lovely day. We've had so much fun today, tomorrow's just a dream away. Now it's time to say good night at the end of a lovely day. Good night, Jessica. Sleep tight. Hope the bumblebees don't bite.